Live from Rancho High School, this is the Game Time Game of the Week on Your View, presented by RC Willey, your home, your way. Alongside Heckma Harrison, I'm Will Connerly. The Desert Oasis Diamondbacks paying a visit to take on the Rancho Rams this evening. Looking forward to this matchup tonight in 4A Lake Conference play. The Rams coming in hot. They've won 6 in a row, the defending league champions.
Yeah, the Rams have given everyone something to be excited about. They have one of the premier scorers in the state. And so I think this is a game tonight that has those playoff implications. You go back to last year, obviously the Rams winning 2 of those games last season. But on the other side for the Diamondbacks, this is just one of those games where they feel like their season has had a little bit of a lull in it. They have to come out and capitalize on this opportunity on the Rams' home court.
Well, they did capitalize last time out, and to capitalize again, we take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by RC Willey, your home, your way for the Diamondbacks. It starts on the glass.
Absolutely. You have to be able to get those second chance opportunities, and also with all of that, control and reduce the turnovers.
Possession's going to be really valuable because the Rams have a big-time score. We're going to get into what he can do in Jacoy Live throughout this evening's broadcast for the Rams. For Desert Oasis, they scored a season-high 73 points last time out. So you see some of the banners up here at Rancho High School. They've been really good under Kai Childress over the last couple of seasons. In his 5th full year directing the program, the fans starting to settle in for this big-time battle for a conference play. These teams finished 1st and 2nd in the league standings last year. We're expecting a capacity crowd this evening for a big-time conference battle.
Well, I think you have 2 very well-coached teams, and obviously with the anticipation of this matchup and the teams and 2 teams that it used to be a bit of a rivalry game a few years ago. Now it seems like the Rams have the upper hand as far as the talent. So let's just see. I mean, I think you talk about these 2 coaches, one being Kai Childress, really good coach, but on the other side, Jeff Haddock also very good coach as well.
Both great coaches, great teams getting ready to battle. We'll step aside. Tip-off coming up in just a few moments. Not a lifetime.
Your
That's
laptop.
what you were noticing.
Yeah, your laptop. I was like, what is that?
By introducing speculative and unfounded.
By the power of Keltron, I cast Magic Missile!
Yes! You're the youest you in your home. So make it your home, your way with RC Willey.
Hey, Reese, you hungry?
You know I am, Mama. Let me introduce y'all to my canes. We got chicken fingers. They hit the spot, baby. Fries are golden crispy, Texas toast crunchy, and they cane sauce right. You got the coleslaw right here. Ooh, Lord help me. This sweet tea makes me sweet. That's what my mama said. So what are you doing right now? Get your mom to take you to Raising Cane's chicken fingers. Hello.
Here at Rancho High School, the Game Time Game of the Week on Your View is presented by RC Willey, your home, your way, and brought to you by Raising Cane's. One love as we get ready for action here this evening at Rancho High School in 4A Lake Conference play here in Las Vegas. The Rams winning both meetings last year, and they look to continue that trend, looking for their 7th victory in a row tonight, trying to stay undefeated in conference play.
That's a tall task, and this is a team that also gets an opportunity to play on their home court. They've been away from their home court for a very long time.
Makai Childress has his team ready. Desert Oasis and Jeff Haddock good to go as well. Anthem done. Starting lineups upcoming now for you. We take a look at the visiting Desert Oasis starting lineup brought to you by Raising Cane's One Love. And Jerome White, the player to note there, the leading scorer for the Diamondbacks, 6'4" senior, about 20 points a night.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that I think tonight 23 has to come up really big, has to also facilitate for his other players, but they can't just sit around and watch him do everything. Guys have to get in on the act. Makai Smith, also their second leading scorer, is going to have to get started fast here against the Rams.
He stepped into a bigger role this season as the Diamondbacks have their starters presented. Let's take a look at what the Rams have going out as well, because as much as the Diamondbacks, and we talk about their offense upcoming, a lot of it's going to come down to defensively as well. What they can do to do what? Stop Jacoy Lyde. You see number 2 in the guard. The ball's going to be in his hands a lot. Over 50% of his team's points this season at 35 points per game. Pretty impressive.
No, it is. And I think for him, for the Rams, okay, it's going to be about starting fast. They have to get out. They have to start fast. They can't give the Diamondbacks any leg room or give these guys an opportunity to get up on them on their home gym floor. It's very important for all of them as a team. You talk about the defense, but also their ability to lock down on the other side as well. Starting fast, to me, was one of the keys to the game, but it's going to be important for the Rams.
That's Jalen Childress getting announced just a moment ago. Coach's son of Kai Childress, who had a son as a senior last year, was one of the leading scorers on the team. And now his other son, Jalen, who leads the team with about 4 assists per night and 12 points per game, ranked 25th in the state for the senior class. And then Jacoy Lyde, a top 10 player in the state, we mentioned as well, a part of that starting 5 for the Rams and the Diamondbacks. Set for tip-off here. Heckma Harrison alongside myself, Will Connerly. Happy to be with you this evening on Your View.
That beautiful gym here at Rancho. And I tell you what, look, I have been very excited to find out about this kid, Jacoy Lyde. And they talk so much about him and his rankings in the state. Getting an opportunity to see him live, man, this is a big deal.
Tip-off coming up in just moments. And the Rams get the first touch. As Childress had it before it went toward the baseline. A drive inside by Lyde. Early touch. Childress can't float it in. John Barry Badger out to Jacoy Lyde. Early trigger from the wing, and it's off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Makai Smith.
You see right now a little bit of pressure at the half court mark. They're not going to allow them easily to get into their sets. I like that right away from Coach Childress. Pressure is on.
Break the pressure for a 3 in the corner. Jerome White, about 20 points tonight, unable to connect, and a jump ball. So each team's leading scorer triggers from the arc to start the game. They both come up empty.
I think for the Diamondbacks, what's got to be on the back of their mind is that they haven't beaten the Rams since 2018. And so it's just like, look, we don't want to let too much time expire between these guys beating us. A win tonight, again, would say a lot.
And the 3 strong from Makai Smith. Rams the other way. Early 3. That comes from Childress, and it's wrestled down. Coach's son and senior point guard, he said, you know, Jalen Childress, X factor for us. We know what we get out of Jacoy Lyde, but when he plays well, we play well.
Yeah. Have a couple of coaches' kids out here on the floor, and have one on this other side for Gian Haddock.
Couple 3s missed early from Jerome White, the all-conference selection last season, at about 10 points a game. now gets 20 a night. No scoring in the early going.
All right, will we have a score? Let's hope so.
I would suspect with a player that gets 624 points already to his name at this stage of the season in Jacoi Live.
That is crazy.
I'd think that we'd see him put a few buckets in. The hook doesn't go from Jerome White after missing a few from outside.
You see the trap right now. This is going to be a problem for the Diamondbacks. They cannot find an open man.
Open there and not connecting on the three, Zaire Joseph. 4 missed threes early for the Diamondbacks. And now Lyde spins, fades, connects, and the first points of the game from none other than Jacoi Lyde.
I mean, there's about 4 moves right there from Lyde in the paint to finally hit that jumper in the lane.
Smith, easy find down low, better defense. Jerome White has missed his first 4 from the field, and Jalen Childress up the other end, a chance for an and one.
Yeah, just continuing to run the floor. Good job rewarding Childress. Number 1 running the floor.
The 6'1" senior point guard, 12 points a game, shoots a team best 68% from the foul line. Very active defensively, but the three-point play doesn't roll. Foul shot rolls out. So a 4-0 lead for the Rams. And they force another turnover. The runner in transition doesn't go, but it's put back in. Ahmad Karoma, the big senior down low, puts it in. So the 3 leading scorers for Rancho, each with a deuce. They're up 6-0.
Everything is happening right now based off of their defense. You see them trapping. You saw it initially early in this game with the Diamondbacks just crossing half court, immediately running right into that pressure. I love the way that the Rams have started this game off, relying heavily on their defense.
Kai Childress talking to his squad in the huddle for the Rams here at home. They've won 6 straight games, coming in at 14-5 overall. Really good road team as well, but happy to be at home in this great atmosphere. Interesting note, though, they are some type of road dogs. They've won 15 straight games away from Rancho, but Kai Childress says he's really happy to have this game here at home tonight, the first of 2 meetings against Desert Oasis.
There's no place like home. I'm sure you've heard that saying before, and I'm with you. When you say these guys are road dogs, they have been out doing plenty of tournaments and just finding out, what they are about as a team away from their own school. Great opportunity for them here tonight.
And this stretch right now, probably the toughest in their schedule as Makai Smith knocks one through from outside. The first points of the night for the Diamondbacks.
And hopefully that will steady things now for the Diamondbacks that came in just looking a little nervous, a little skittish.
And after missing their first 4 from three-point land, it's good to see one start to fall because Smith and White can be dangerous from beyond the arc.
Yeah, big role player in Makai Smith. And his whole thing tonight is just going to be continuing to knock down open shots. And what they have to do is they can't allow for the other role players to get going. As you see right now, number 3, Ahmad Koromoa doing a really good job underneath the basket with the putback and getting the foul. Karoma, excuse me.
And Kai Childress said, along with Jalen Childress, the other senior leader on this team in Ahmad Karoma, 6'4" senior inside. And for a team that's a little bit smaller this year, he provides that muscle inside, comes up empty at the foul line, but they pick up the miss. And he said Karoma, another big X factor for this team. Childress from 3 rolls off. And the Diamondbacks get the long rebound, trying to run out in transition. Jerome White loses control of it. Childress forcing the steal. Lai goes for the 3, gets swatted away by Smith. Big back and forth action there.
It is, and I tell you what, I'm giving Mekhi Smith a lot of credit for the way that he's playing defense. See the rebound here, and that looked like an easy 3-point shot in the corner for Lyde. Smith said, no, I'm going to knock this one back to the concession stand.
One thing that Kai Childress mentioned as well is that for the Rams, he said in the first quarter in conference play this year, it's been difficult. They've got off to some slow starts because they said on any given night, they have no idea how another team is going to come out and defend a guy who scores 35 points a game in Jacoy Lyde, who just got his 3rd point of the night, sinking that first foul shot. And so you can understand and look, okay, are they going to play him straight up? What are they going to do?
Well, I think if you're an opposing coach, well, obviously, if you're Coach Childress, you're sitting there saying that each night every team knows what we're going to come to the gym with. It's still going to be the responsibility of the other 4 guys out there and how deep you're going to go into your bench, how much success you're going to have. And I think those slow starts are just indicative of that.
Devin Kai Odinas with a basket on the other end for Desert Oasis. And the Diamondbacks go right back to attacking on the block to the man who just scored in Devin Kai Odinas, and the 6-foot junior, after scoring a 2-point basket on the other end, earns a trip to the foul line despite the defense down low.
Yeah, the only way that the Diamondbacks are going to have some success against this press is by attacking it.
And checking in now for Rancho, Terry Taylor leads the team in rebounding, really attacks the glass at 6'2" from the guard spot. Number 20 in white is Devin Kai Odinas is at the foul line. Sunk the first and leaves the second short. Karoma slashing through the lane, rolls off. Zaire Joseph grabs the rebound. It's deflected out of play by Jacoy Lyde.
Yeah, Karoma, you're talking about that frame. Kid is 6'4". He looks more like a tight end out there on the court. Big frame, big body, and really has the moves to go with it to get his shot off.
Odinas open. It's too long. And a whistle, a foul back up the other end. Childress got fouled by Odinas, who missed the shot.
But I like that. I like what the Diamondbacks right now are in attack mode. And Kai Odinas, you see him right there. He's not able to sink the shot, but again, that's the kind of pressure that you're going to have to continue to go at this press defense with. Because there's someone open, they're just not able to find it right now.
Tough shot from Lai, double coverage, and he can't draw anything. Mekhi Smith picks up the miss.
Uh-oh, and as he picks up his dribble, that's where you get in trouble.
Long 2, well off from Odinas, getting some good shot opportunities here in the first quarter. Good move, but losing it. And then bounce pass out. Karoma. And he can't have anything inside. Diamondbacks doing a good job. They're allowing some penetration, but defense in the paint has been pretty solid.
What they're not doing a good job of is defensive rebounding.
That is correct. The second opportunities have been coming left and right. And Zaire Joseph commits a foul. As Kai Childress looks on as his team gets fouled, and they get to go to the foul line. And shooting a couple shots upcoming here is Jalen Childress. coach's son, and he swishes the first. Childress knocks both down.
Yeah, this is one of those. I can tell you right now, with the way these fouls are being called, they're going to have to be sturdy at the free throw line. You're going to have to knock these down. That's something that Coach Childress is going to have to talk to his squad about.
Some sloppy play on both ends, but the Rams end up getting it until Odinas forces the steal. So 3 consecutive turnovers on the change of possession. So the Diamondbacks get a feed inside, 2 down there for an open look up top, missed by Smith. And the Rams collect.
Line drive, though, for Mekhi Smith. He was sitting in that spot for quite some time. You see him clap his hands there, and then he sees that ball go off the rim. He knows that he missed an opportunity for a wide open 3.
Lyde gives it up to Karoma. Right back to Lyde. Quick screen. A drive and kick out for 3. And it's well too long, but an offensive board and drive back in. Hard fall down by Jabari Badger, who missed the 3 but picked up the board and attacked right back to the rim.
And I think that's another foul there on Mekhi Smith. I mean, he's a guy that's been getting down on the floor. He's doing a lot of hustling for the Diamondbacks. They're just going to have to do a better job, Will, on the defensive glass. Too many second chance opportunities right now for the Rams.
A missed foul shot by Jabari Badger. Just over 3 points a game, north of 6 rebounds tonight.
It's unfortunate events. That's the second foul now on Mekhi Smith here in the first, so he has to go take a seat. Get one of your second best scorer and rebounder off of the floor. And what do? They go right back to the full court press now.
Near trap. They break it. Odinas open 3. He gets fouled. 3 coming up at the line. Terry Taylor came in and committed the foul on Devin Odinas.
Nothing makes a coach more upset than fouls like this. Sweeping the leg and hands of a 3-point shooter. That's maddening. As for the Rams, they've been playing some really good defense. It's been one and done opportunities on this end for the Diamondbacks.
They do take advantage of the 3 foul shots they're afforded. Jeffrey Moreno checking in, another senior. The Rams, a lot of seniors on the roster, but they lost 5 of their top 7 scorers from last year, but still the most experienced team in this conference.
And I think, Will, when you say that, man, it's so hard to replace that type of production when you have 5 guys that were not just role players, but scorers for you.
But the good news is they did get their top guy back in Jacoy Lyde, but after winning the league last year, they're a favorite once again in 4A, but the other team they have to worry about, Sierra Vista, the number 1 team in the state. They lost by 2 in the playoffs last year to them, and they lost by a possession twice last year. Now, different conference, but the 2 are on a collision course once again in 4A as there's a travel call. Tight ball game we have now, just 3 points separating the 2 teams at the tail end of the first quarter, but the Rancho Rams playing some of their best basketball here this season, and they're trying to continue that tonight.
I don't know what happened right there. It looked like Lyde just lost his footing, goes down, and travel call, ball going the other way. But this full court press is giving the Diamondbacks fits. Let's see if they can break it.
It's Braden Wagner, brings it across. And these active hands of the Rams deflecting the ball out of play left and right. And they're going to rule that was last off the Diamondbacks. So
wow.
Turnover with 15 seconds left.
Looked like that was Lyde getting his hands on the ball, reaching around from behind the player, but they call it out on the Diamondbacks. That's pretty interesting. With 13 seconds left here, Will, I expect for them to get the ball into the hands of their playmaker.
And that's Lyde who has it now. Long three. It is off the mark from deep downtown, but the Rams at home up 12-9 in this 4A Lake Conference matchup between Rancho and Desert Oasis. 3-point ball game after a quarter. The Rams on top. We'll be right back.
Dear Harlem Globetrotters, we love you.
I love your dunks.
Alley-oops.
The long shot.
4-point shot!
I love your history.
A trailblazer.
All the cool tricks.
You make me laugh.
Come back soon.
We're coming to Thomas and Mack Center on February 18th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs.
It's here, the all-new 777 Nissan, home of the low upfront price. Lease a new 2025 Nissan Sentra for only $298 a month. There's a huge selection online at 777nissan.com. 777 Nissan on the 215 between Buffalo and Durango.
The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour is here. We're coming to Thomas and Mack Center on February 18th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs.
Start of the second quarter and a 12-9 score as the Rancho Rams lead. So we begin the second frame. Glad you're with us here this evening for the Game Time Game of the Week on Your View as the Rams, all these offensive boards, and it leads to points. It's Jabari Badger with 2, and Heckma, you talked about it all first quarter. Offensive boards, offensive boards, offensive boards. The Rams come out to start the second and do the same thing.
Well, I mean, it's a party. It is a party right now for the Rams, and they found something on the other side, and you see the missed shot right here initially, and right in position off of the missed bucket is number 12. And, you know, if you're going to make it that easy for Badger to get a follow-up, man, this thing can get out of hand pretty quickly. The only other thing I can say for Desert Oasis is right now I want to put an APB out on Jerome White. Want to find his offense, because we came into this game talking about him as the leading scorer, 20 points per game, and he hadn't seen the stat sheet yet.
They want to get the ball into the hands of number 23 in black. He has it now. Missed his first few shots. You know he can fill it up, but like you said, held scoreless tonight. Forces a turnover there, though. Ball goes into his hands. It's Desert Oasis down by 5. They look again to find White, and it's deflected out of play. One thing you can say about the Rams is, yes, they have full court pressure, but all these deflections left and right, even in the half court, they have really active hands on defense.
Yeah, these guys are looking to steal the ball. They're not making passes easy. And, you know, look, if you're going to run down into the paint like that with no plan, you're going to run right into a defender who's going to strip it from you. They have got to find a way offensively. These guys are frustrated. You can see it on their faces.
Karoma has the ball tapped out of play by Devin Coyodenis, so it stays on this end. From way downtown, it rolls off from Jacoy Lyde.
And we're talking about a guy with 30 points per game. He's going to have to catch on fire here pretty soon if he's going to see 30 tonight. Oh, wow.
Really nice on the baseline. Zaire Joseph, that's one way to get into the scoring column, and that makes it a 3-point ball game.
Uh-oh, got a technical foul called. Look at Zaire. He's getting down into the corner, fading away into the sideline. What an angle. Nothing you can do about that.
It looks like The technical was assessed to the Diamondbacks, perhaps the bench. That's where the official pointed. Obviously, that is the case with the Rams going to the foul line, and their best foul shooter, coach's son and senior point guard Jalen Childress, goes to the stripe, misses the first. So believe that technical was assessed on the Rams, or excuse me, the Diamondbacks bench, affording these foul shots here for the Rams after it was a great basket by Zaire Joseph.
You can call it the bench or you can call it Jeff Haddock.
Let's take another look what happened here. It's Joseph who makes the tough bucket. I see now, pretty clear what the T was. It's perhaps on Joseph for a little jaw-jacking at the bench for the Rams.
Like I said, this Diamondback squad has not beaten this squad, beaten the Rams since 2018. Little get back.
Had something to say after making his first basket of the evening. However, they didn't have to pay for it as they came up empty on the threes. And there's the leading scorer, Jerome White, getting in the column.
Yeah, that smile on his face says it all. Like, finally. Again, the defensive pressure has been there for the Rams. Offensively, they've just been relying on one guy. They have got to try and share the wealth, move this ball around. Good job by the Diamondbacks. You see the pressure coming immediately, but they still can't stop Lyde from getting the 2 points.
7 points for Lyde. And it's deflected out of play by Lyde and Jabari Badger. For Lyde, 7 points. He has over 400 points, more than the next highest scorer on the team.
That's so weird. That was stat. I mean, this guy, he's getting plenty of opportunities. And when you say shooters shoot, should be his middle name.
Shooters shoot?
Shooters shoot.
That's a long middle name.
Yeah.
Add a hyphen in there, whatever you need. But
yeah.
it's
Put it on his birth certificate.
And Jeff
Jacoy, shooter shoot Lyde.
And you saw Coach Haddock looking in saying, how are we going to stop this guy tonight? It's dropped over there by Wagner. Good defense by the Rams. They run out quickly in transition. Deep two taken, and Childress connects.
Yeah, Childress there with another opportunity. Offensively, you're starting to see things open up a little bit here for Rancho.
Went with the long two in transition on the jump shot, and it's a turnover by Jerome White. Now Lyde attacking to the rack.
Wow. Jump cut in the lane, off the glass.
The Rams have been so good with Jacoy Lyde as a varsity starter over the last 3 seasons. They're 19-3 in conference games that he started. As it's dropped off, offensive board doesn't go. Third opportunity affords Jerome White to go to the foul line.
I love the aggression there, though, by the Diamondbacks, continuously working on the glass to get those second shot opportunities. They were one and done, but how about this move down low from Lyde? Man, he is silky smooth. Hey, 34, 35 points per game. I said at some point he's going to have to catch on fire. Maybe we're starting to see the ignition here.
It's Jerome White, 20 points tonight, the all-conference selection from a season ago.
No, I like it. I mean, all-conference from a season ago. You're just saying it all about this kid. I appreciate the ability that he has as a scorer.
You got 2 great scorers on the court tonight for either side, Jacoy Lyde, and right there in Jerome White. A couple all-conference guys, 2 of the best players in the league from last season. There is Jerome White, 4 points on the night for him. He's got them all here in the second quarter. Diamondbacks want to get him going for sure. They force a turnover with Devin Coyodenis, and that's what they're going to have to do to slow down the Rams.
A quick whistle there on Childress. Just the reach in. Yeah, the other thing about Jerome White, he's a big kid at 6'4", They're going to need that presence down low. They hadn't gotten much of that from Jerome this first half, but in the second quarter, you're starting to see him, and his dominance. Good steal.
There's Lyde forcing the steal, going right up, and it goes out of play. For as much as you talk about Jacoy Lyde's 35 a night, he gets over 3 steals a game, had one right there, but it goes out of play here in a 6-point ball game.
Yeah, this is, wow. I mean, Odinas is looking to make a quick entry pass, and Lyde right there with the steal.
A turnover. That's one thing about Jacoy Lyde, as much as we'll give him the flowers, that approaching 100 turnovers on the year, had 98 coming in. When you have the ball in your hands that often, you're going to cough it up, but about 100 turnovers through 18 games.
Yeah, that's there's not going to be a coach that loves that stat.
Too strong off the glass on the layup by Jerome White. And Childress fires from 3 in and out. And a good job to get the defensive board there from Gian Haddock. Now they'll just try to bring it across the court, struggling to do so at the time until a timeout is called. Jeff Haddock calling one, trying to value the basketball after they didn't allow the Rams to get an offensive rebound.
I got to give Jeff Haddock a little bit of credit right here. He knows offensively they have to keep pace with the Rams, recognizing that Mekhi Smith is in trouble and he has 2 Ram defenders around him trying to take the ball from him. Jeff Haddock really had no choice but to call that timeout just to keep the possession.
Talking to his team right now, someone who played some college ball and trying to encourage the group right now. What do you think the message is from that sideline after that timeout? Obviously, they were in a tough situation, didn't want to turn it over, but offensively for him, and now you see Kai Childress for the Rams, but for Coach Haddock's squad, it's a tough when your leading scorer was held scoreless in the first frame.
Well, I'm sure what he's talking about is spacing. It's like, guys, they're pressuring us. If we can get spacing, we can break this press easily. We're making it hard on ourselves.
Missing easy one that's almost put back in, but a travel called as Destiny Tia, who just checked into the ball game for the first time, fell down. 6-point ball game, under 4 to go in the second. We'll see if the Diamondbacks can get that said spacing.
Out of the timeout, that's the one thing that I noticed, Will.
3 ball. Misfires. Childress grabs it. So Dinas went flying down the baseline and put up through traffic, checking in. Destiny Tia with a nice move down low.
No, great move down low. Double pump up top. Another steal by Lyde with the Euro, and that falls. Walking bucket from shooter shoot.
Long list of names for Jacoy Lyde. Another steal right there. Back up the floor. Spins in the lane. And draws the foul.
I mean, come on, man. Wow.
So Jacoy Lyde with the moves.
Look at this, man. The Euro right hand. That is skill. 100%.
And when you come into a year, I think Kai Childress had to be confident because you get this guy back. Okay, 18 points a game. We're happy with having one of the best players in the league back despite losing 5 of our top 7 guys. But really, they got 2 players back because he's scoring 17 more points per game than he did a year ago, and he was already their leading scorer last year. So Kai Childress certainly pleased. He said he's been in the gym with this kid every single day over the last 4 years, and he sinks that foul shot.
I think the biggest temptation when you have a Jacoy Lyde on your team is you just want to sit up, you just want to stand around and marvel at it. And he becomes a one-man wrecking crew at points in time in the game, and other guys want to get in on the act. That's what you can't afford to do. And when you have opposition out there with the likes of the Sierra Canyons, you got to continue to believe in your offense and also create the kind of spacing that if Lyde is ever tied up, he can get the ball on the outside to a player that's there to knock down a shot.
Emilio Leal has it in the paint, out to Haddock. Unable to go on the baseline. Coyodenis providing some energy for the Diamondbacks. You say whoa because the hard fall.
Yeah. I said Sierra King. I meant Sierra Vista. Excuse me. I just recognize that.
They're not a bad team either.
No, they are not.
Different
different league, different state altogether. But yeah, that was pretty hard foul and fall.
Devin Coyodenis in and out on the first attempt. He's got 6 points tonight to lead the Diamondbacks. On the other side, a dozen for Jacoy Lyde. Some would say just another day at the office. For him, he leads all scorers in this game with 12, while Jalen Childress has 7.
That's a quiet 12, isn't it? It's a quiet. It just seems like over the last couple of drives, you're starting to see him take over this game. But you look up, he has 12 points already. That's an accomplishment. All in its own here in the first half.
All on inside the arc as well. Capable three-point shooter also. About 50 already made this season through 18 games. That three ball's airballed from Tia from the corner. And it goes the other way.
Got to give Tia credit. I mean, although he airballed it, he was in the right spot. And, man, just looked like it looked good coming off his hand. Just did not draw iron.
Marino checks into the game. Jeffrey Marino, senior guard. Getting a little bit of burn toward the end of the first half. 10-point ball game.
Just down by 10 here, the Diamondbacks. Game not away from them. But, man, they have got to stop turning the ball over.
Lyde back to work. And he gets called for the walk. Another turnover for Jacoy Lyde.
Well, you talked about how many times he turns the ball over. And I think that's the biggest negative when you look at his game, the amount of times he turns the ball over. You have to be able to secure the basket.
It's the 92nd game of his career for the Rancho Rams. Right at a 20-point average for all 4 seasons, or in the midst of his 4th season, as a jump ball is called. But it is interesting because for as much as we'll talk about number 2 and White all night long, and he gives us good reason to talk about him, a lot of capable players surrounding him as well that afford some great opportunities as White misfires and the Rams force another stop. Bounce pass by Lyde up the lane, but the layup misfired by Marino.
What a pass, though. That's what I'm talking about. You can't stand around and watch number 2. You got to be ready to make something of it, and he finds one of his players, and they can't cash in on the other end.
Leal.
Great defense.
Emilio Leal has to give it up out to Jerome White.
Get the strong side defense and not allowing any room. No passes being made to the other side of the court right now for the Diamondbacks. They are dictating the pace to these guys.
Terry Taylor set to check in, the leader on the glass for the Rams, but no dribble drive penetration being allowed, even coming down the lane. 3 Rams just all over the dribble penetration. The Rams doing a really good job of stopping that dribble drive.
Yes, they are. I mean, and again, it's been pressure this entire game. The willingness to get down on the floor for loose balls, and that's just easy work. Jacoy Lyde is like, oh, you're going to give me the ball in the paint? Yeah, I know what to do with it. 2 points, please.
Offensive board can't be put back by Emilio Leal. Lyde just scored from the post, now in transition too high off the window. Devin Coyodenis, hit him with the Barkley post, the guard posting up down low and dropping it in for 2 to go up by a dozen. And the answer by Jerome White.
And how bad did the Diamondbacks need that? Still, again, down by 10 points.
Lyde called for the carry.
Yikes. Man, this is... They mix in a little bit of good with a little bit of bad, but it's been a lot of good. As you see Jerome White going strong to the hole, he thought he was fouled.
Last second heave, misses short. So Jerome White trying to provide some life for the Diamondbacks. They're down by 10 on the road. He had 6 all in the second, but it's Jacoy Live with 14 leading the Rancho Rams once again. They're up by 10 here at halftime.
From New York City comes America's longest running and most popular rugby show. The biggest names in Major League Rugby, MLR highlights, and big match previews. Rugby Wrap-Up presents MLR Weekly, made in New York City.
Whether you moved here or you're born and raised, we've all got one thing in common. We're locals. At Channel 13, our mission is to protect our local way of life. We fight for you.
The work that you did played a big role in saving my siblings' lives.
Listen to your concerns.
Is she going to be safe at school?
And stand up for what's right in this place we call home. Watch Channel 13 live at 6.
Or catch the replays weekday mornings and evenings on YourView, Channel 51.
The school rivalries, the roar of the crowd, the passion and drive, the team chemistry. One shot can win it all. It's more than a game. It's Las Vegas game time on YourView. Tune in for Desert Oasis versus Rancho boys basketball on Cox Channel 51. Streaming at watch.yourview.com and the YourView app.
Game time on YourView, presented by Raising Cane's. One Love, 10-point ball game at halftime. The Rams on top, 28-18. 14 of the 28 scored by Jacoy Live. Par for the course for a man who scores over 50% of his team's points. But the Diamondbacks got 6 from Jerome White, their leader. And Desert Oasis down by 10. They probably feel like they're in striking distance as they are in the locker room now.
Yeah, 10 may as well be 40 if they're going to continue to turn the ball over and not get any easy shots defensively. You know, look, they are just getting it taken to them by the Rams. And I think if there's any silver lining in this for the Diamondbacks, it's the fact that the Rams haven't been knocking down a lot of their shots either. The problem is, Will, is if the Rams come out at halftime and they're on fire, this game could get out of hand easily. These guys, for me, Coach Jeff Haddock has got to be talking to them about locking down on defense, but also hitting the boards to try and get second chance opportunities.
And one thing about the Diamondbacks, as you're tuned in to our Raising Cane's halftime show here on YourView, Raising Cane's One Love, is that they do have a lot of different candidates, not really just one guy who has a bulk of the work. Jerome White, though, getting going in the second quarter, 6 points all in the second frame. They're probably going to look to more of him, but Devin Coyodenis had a really good first half with 7 points to lead all Diamondbacks. And then Mekhi Smith, early foul trouble for him. Didn't see much of him in the second quarter, and he's one of their big threats from outside.
That's the biggest problem for Smith, and he started the game off with a lot of aggression, a guy that was out there rebounding for his team, diving for loose balls, tying the ball up. But, man, those fouls is really what took him out of the game offensively. You see it, he is the second leading scorer for the Diamondbacks, but if he's taken out of his rhythm, it's impossible for him to come onto the court and just be an instant bucket.
Well, we will step aside. 10-point lead for the Rams at halftime here at Rancho.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Doing More is brought to you in part by the Eric Roy Law Firm. Call your boy, Eric Roy.
The school rivalries, the roar of the crowd, the passion and drive, the team chemistry. One shot can win it all. It's more than a game. It's Las Vegas game time on YourView. Tune in for Legacy versus Cimarron Memorial Boys Basketball on Cox Channel 51. Streaming at watch.yourview.com and the YourView app.
Main Street Living. Join our hosts, Danielle, Quincy, Cheryl, Tom, Brandy, and Valerie as they share fascinating stories from our street to your street with interviews from across the country. Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on YourView.
The school rivalries, the roar of the crowd, the passion and drive, the team chemistry. One shot can win it all. It's more than a game. It's Las Vegas game time on YourView. Tune in for Virgin Valley versus Moapa Valley Girls Basketball on Cox Channel 51. Streaming at watch.yourview.com and the YourView app.
Game time on YourView, brought to you by RC Willie, your home, your way. Rancho leading 28-18 at halftime, ahead by 10. And Heckma, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. For the Diamondbacks, they did some good things offensively.
They tried. I mean, I think when they got the opportunity to get into the game, I think it happened for them, and it started with that block right there. You saw it from Mekhi Smith with the block against Lyde, but this was an impossible shot by Zaire Joseph. And coming right back down, you get Jerome White, who obviously the player that we highlighted to start things off. He got started off pretty slow in the second quarter, but boy, you know, that's probably a bright spot for them.
And for the Rams, they certainly tried as well, and they succeeded a little bit more with this 10-point lead at half.
Well, they got a guy that can do it all. And, you know, when you have a Jacoy Lyde on your team and Jalen Childress, these are two players that just stay active. And I think so much about the moves that this guy has. And, man, his ability to get other players involved, I think, is going to be really important here in the second quarter, kind of to curtail some of those turnovers, man. He had way too many turnovers in the first half.
2 travels, 1 carry, but 14 points and a 10-point lead. Second half coming up on the other side. Rancho leading at home by 10 here in the conference matchup.
Ninth Island Connection highlights Las Vegas businesses, entertainment, events, and activities on and off the Strip, keeping our viewers connected with the Ninth Island of Las Vegas. From local mom and pop restaurants to those owned and operated by top chefs, from kitchen action to the inspiration behind the dishes, we deliver the culinary creations of Vegas. Ninth Island Connection highlights Las Vegas businesses, entertainment, events, and activities on and off the Strip, keeping our viewers connected with the Ninth Island of Las Vegas. Great people, great stories, great connections, only on Ninth Island Connection.
Back with you here at Rancho High School. The Rams leading by 10 as they come out of the locker room. Probably have some confidence here. At halftime, it's our Raising Cane's halftime show here on YourView. Raising Cane's One Love as halftime wraps up, though, when we look ahead to the second half. Rams coming out of the locker room with confidence. That's what you'd expect with a 10-point lead. But the Diamondbacks just a few good possessions away, and if they can take care of the ball, it can certainly be a ball game in the second half.
Yeah, for the Rams, just take your rearview mirror off, all right? Don't even look behind you. Just look forward. You have a 10-point lead that should be 20 right now. Keep your foot on the gas. this is a team on the other side for the Diamondbacks. They're trying to figure out what to do with all of the pressure that you're putting on them. Continue with that half-court pressure. Don't allow them to get into their sets. You can win this game easily. Can't allow these guys to catch on fire, though. That'll make things interesting.
Well, for the Rams, too, as we start the second half, they start this season 7-0, but then lose 5 of 6, go through a big slump. Now they've won 6 in a row, finding their footing, looking for their 7th win in a row tonight, trying to go to 5-0 in league play. A drive inside, first look for Jerome White. He comes up empty. Back up the floor, Childress unable to connect, and White gets the rebound.
Atones for it by getting the rebound, but boy, I thought that was going to be a bucket from Jerome White. Wow.
A travel called against the Diamondbacks, they turn it over.
Well, I will say this, the referees tonight are consistent with that traveling call. Calling it on both sides. Things kind of starting just like it did in the first half.
From way downtown, Jacoy Live pulling up. He got the tape measure out on the 3 he missed by 14 points tonight, not hitting a 3. He wanted to show off his distance. Logo time for him.
Yeah, he didn't shoot that one from the announcer's desk. That's confidence, though, as a player.
Oh, man.
Like I said, man, these guys have been away from their home gym, so they know their spots on the floor. So I don't want to call that an ill-advised shot from Lyde.
Julian Willisey knocking one through for the Rams. His first 2 of the night to open up a 12-point lead, matching their largest of the evening. Devin Coyodenis unable to connect, and Jabari Badger picks up the rebound, trying to get it to Lyde in the corner. It's tapped away by Makai Smith. Back in action, picked up a couple of fouls in the first quarter, didn't get to play much in the second quarter for number 4.
And this is number 4 is probably the other guy that you need desperately for the Diamondbacks to get in on the action offensively. And another traveling call.
A lot of walks tonight.
Yeah.
And that one.
There's the theme.
Ahmad Karoma, the latest candidate on one too many steps.
Yeah, big fella right there underneath the basket. I like for him to turn around and just go right back up with it.
Trying to kick it.
I think going to say that ball was tipped.
Yeah, he got a tip on Lyde there. Thought it could have been a backcourt. Instead, Devin Coyodenis, a drive and kick, and 3 buried. Makai Smith back into the ball game, holding his left arm, but he knocks one down.
I just said it. This is the guy that you need offensively to get things started. Hadn't heard much from Jerome White. How about that from a long ways away for the 3? You think these guys got a little bit of confidence?
They do. Julian Willisey coming from big-time downtown range. Had no points at halftime, already with 5 in the early stages of this third quarter. Well, that's Willisey coming out of the locker room with some confidence. Didn't see the ball a ton in the first half, but another guy on this squad just gets 2 points a game, but he has 5 here in the third quarter.
But that's just saying that I got the green light to shoot, and he knows it.
Lyde misfires on his step through the lane. Feed it, and it's taken away.
Oh, another turnover inside for the Diamondbacks, and man, Karoma.
Oh man, that's Makai Smith. Looks like frustration because
oh man,
believe he's the candidate to commit this foul, and believe that's his 3rd on Karoma, perhaps 4th foul, and 4 for number 4. You can see he's frustrated.
God, that is, if that is his 4th, that is got to be frustrating for him.
It looks like it is indeed number 4 for number 4, the second leading scorer for the Diamondbacks. And That is tough to have your second leading scorer already with 4 fouls early stage of the third quarter for a guy who's hit 2 threes tonight.
So many adjustments right now for Coach Jeff Haddock and company. He's really trying to find something offensively, but he's really just trying to break this pressure. Rancho is all over him. Here's another trap coming. How do they get out of that? And for
bouncing off a foot, that's how you get out of it.
Is that how you get out of it? G and Haddock nowhere to go with the ball, and let's see if I can bounce it off of you so we can keep the possession. Yeah, this is tough.
And the Rams forcing another turnover. They get the ball themselves.
They get the ball back. Wow. I thought that ball was tipped, but no.
Now lied to trigger it from the corner. Standing on the corner, but has to be on the baseline. Set to get the ball. And gets it to the point guard, Childress. Quick to Karoma down low. And it's picked up by Jerome White. In transition, layup. Just missed, and Jacoy lied. Back up the floor quickly there to Willisey, who gets hard contact, but he'll go to the foul line. That's Jabari Badger, excuse me, who'll go to the line, going for the reverse layup.
Jabari Badger, man, life would have been so much easier if he didn't slip initially on the baseline. But how was he so wide open on the other end when the ball was? That's where my question is. How are you still down? Yeah.
He didn't get to the other end.
Not at all. Okay. Those are questions that your coach is going to ask you.
And then misfires on the attempt. One more coming up for Jabari Badger, the 6'1" senior forward. Loves contact. You saw him going for it there on the reverse layup.
I don't know how much he loved that contact.
Hit the wood pretty hard, goes 1 of 2 at the line. And Devin Coyodenis brings it up the court, and an offensive foul called against Jerome White. It has been a struggle all night for Jerome White, the leading scorer, who's now laying down with his back on the floor after committing the offensive foul.
Boy, not a good sign. Not a good sign for Desert Oasis. As you see him pivot back inside down the lane and runs right into the chest of Badger.
And then holds his head immediately after the collision. And down on the hardwood, certainly hope that the senior forward is all right. They've really been trying to get him the ball. Has seen so much attention down low this evening from the Rams defense, but Jerome White shaken up. Here's another look.
Yeah, that's hard contact, and you see immediately he reaches for his head. It's good to see him. Well, not up yet. He's just sitting up.
Head coach Jeff Haddock tending to his leading scorer, who gets up, and a sign of respect from the home crowd for the visiting player, who's a little bit shaken up as he makes his way toward the sideline.
Oh man, it looks like he has a pretty good welt right there on the right side of his head. He's going to have to go to the locker room. So now you have Mekhi Smith, who has foul trouble, and on top of that, now Jerome White is out of the game.
And neither able to be on the floor now. Smith with 4 fouls, and Jerome White, like you just mentioned, heading to the locker room. Jacoy lied from 3 off the bounce.
Wow. And just like that, I mean, Jacoy, you have got to have someone, a defender, that is just assigned to him. For any coaches that's going to play against the Rams, how about this? As soon as Jacoy Lyde gets off of the bus, have someone there to greet him and walk with him the whole way. gosh.
Oh, man, and it is interesting how Kai Childress said, hey, first quarters, he's pretty slow because we just have to adjust, because he said they've seen some exotic defenses this year with multiple, even sometimes 3 guys trying to guard him, and they just have to adjust. And as you can see, 17 points now. Most of that damage has come in the second and third quarter now. Deep 2, Devin Coyodenis is having a good night.
And Odenis, just take a step back, son, so that could be a 3-pointer. I mean, talk about that is the longest 2-pointer in high school history. This guy just hit.
Another turnover for Jacoy Lyde, his 5th of the night, despite having 17 points. And now Odenis, who has a dozen, make it 14 for Devin Coyodenis, having to step up with the 2 leading scorers off the court.
And doing a good job of it, and was looking for contact. I thought the whistle was going to come for the and 1.
3 misses short there from Willacy, and the defensive board cleaned up by the Diamondbacks. Odenis is hot, and the mid-range falls for him.
Hey, talk about shooters shoot. How about the soft roll on the shot by Odenis? And, hey, you got to make Kai Childress call the timeout right here, because he's got a guy that's heating up on the other side.
16 points for Devin Coyodenis. A 6-0 run for Desert Oasis has made it just a 12-point deficit here in the third quarter, but 6 straight all by Devin Coyodenis, the junior, having to step up in a big way with Jerome White, who just recently exited the game and went to the locker room after contact to the head, and then Makai Smith with 4 fouls. You wonder when Jeff Haddock will enter his second leading scorer with 4 fouls, probably in the fourth quarter. You wouldn't expect to see him at all in the third.
Yeah, it just depends. 2:49 left. Still so much to play here in the third quarter with Jerome White out of the game. You were probably asking yourself, if you're Jeff Haddock, where is this offense going to come from? And Devin Coyodenis raises his hand and hits 6 points. But, boy, that sure would have been great to see that happening with all of your guys in there.
And so he's tightened the ball game. Checked at a 10-point deficit, 39-29. Devin Coyodenis going on a run. Childress drive inside, can't drop it in. And the ball goes the other way, so Jeff Haddock barking out instructions to his Diamondback squad, down by 10 on a little run right now here in the third out of the timeout.
And this is the kind of defense that we're talking about here. Childress calls the timeout, and he's like, look, we need to take a little bit of this wind out of their sails with this defense. Let's get back on the grind.
And from the elbow, Gian Haddock knocking one through, his first 2 points of the night. Wide open, rising, firing, leaving it short as Jalen Childress. Kimura gets the offensive board, back to Childress again. And then they throw it out of play, so a self-inflicted wound there by the Rams. It's much tighter ball game now, just 8 points after they were down by as many as 16.
Yeah, just too much mustard. On that pass from Willacy. Here's the trap again, Will.
Wide open from outside. It's buried. Zaire Joseph. And a foul up the other end. An 11-0 run by the Diamondbacks.
They're spending a lot of time on the trapping. When you do that, we're talking about spacing in the first half. Great job by number 2, Zaire Joseph, getting to a spot on the floor, catching and releasing.
But on the other end, it sends Jacoy Lyde to the stripe, and he sinks the first.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet here in later part of this third quarter. Man, I really am hoping that Jerome White is okay and able to make it back into this game.
In and out, so JaCoy Lyde, 19 points for him. Devin Coyodenis misses the layup, and Lyde picks up the miss. 6-point ball game.
Great idea from Modenas, but how about the dribble there from Lyde?
And Lyde went through traffic.
Wow. Wow. How did he get through that in one? How did he get that ball out of his hands between two defenders?
Another 20-point effort for JaCoy Lyde. Just another day at the office for him as the shot rolls off from Zaire Joseph. But for the Diamondbacks, an 11-0 run has got him back in the ballgame. But JaCoy Lyde with the big answer just a moment ago.
I mean, here's the dribble, the pivot turning around between two defenders and off the opposite side of the glass. Come on now.
And all Kai Childress can do is just watch and enjoy JaCoy Lyde's brilliance with the basketball.
Well, he's used to it. He's used to it. He's like, there's nothing this kid can't do. For 4 years, he's been seeing that.
And after nearly getting 20 a game last year, he's shooting 10% better this year. And there's knocked down Gian Haddock. 2 field goals in this third quarter. So Diamondbacks staying in it.
Yeah, Gian Haddock. Seen him knock down some clutch shots, too. Just here in the third.
Willisey open from 3, well too long. Rebound collected by Zaire Joseph. And a foul going back up the other end. That's Ashton Kidd who gets fouled. That's Terry Taylor committing the contact. And with 30 seconds left in the third.
Well, 2 things have happened here, Will. I just want to point this out. Because of the great shooting from Coyodenis and also from Gian Haddock, it is allowed for Coach Jeff Haddock to keep Makai Smith on the bench and not put him at risk of fouling out.
And Lyde misses an easy 2, but somehow gets the ball back.
This guy he's doing bear crawls and rolling and still keeping his dribble going.
Time about to expire in the third. Looking to make a play. Fires top of the key. My goodness. JaCoy Lyde with 23. And he sends us to the fourth.
Unbelievable. Unconscious. I don't know that the promo from RC Willie, Our House, Our Way. This is exactly what you're getting right now from Lyde. How clutch is this shit? Bottom of the net. This shot was amazing.
You're even prettier than the day we met.
Thanks, babe.
Your Honour, I object to this entire line of questioning on the grounds that it is not only irrelevant, but it also seeks to prejudice the jury against my client by introducing speculative and unfounded.
By the power of Keltron, I cast Magic Missile!
Yes! You're the youest you in your home. So make it your home, your way with RC Willie.
Hey, Reese, you hungry?
You know I am, Mama. Let me introduce y'all to my canes. We got chicken fingers. They hit the spot, baby. Fries are golden crispy, Texas toast crunchy, and they cane sauce right. You got a coleslaw right here. Ooh, Lord help me. This sweet tea makes me sweet. That's what my mama said. So what are you doing right now? Get your mom to take you to Raising Cane's chicken fingers. Hello.
Back with you here to start the fourth quarter. Our Game Time Game of the Week on Your View, presented by RC Willie, your home, your way, and brought to you by Raising Cane's. One love, and the fans are loving what JaCoy Lyde is doing. Had an impressive three-pointer from the top of the key to end the third, and to start the fourth, a chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Look, 35 points a game, and finally, I said it, man, if at some point you're going to start to see this guy heat up. I did not know it was a microwave that he was going to be heating up. This is instant. That last shot at the buzzer That was one of those shots that I think, man, that's for the highlight reel right there, because you're at a point with the Diamondbacks where they're starting to knock down shots, steal some of the momentum back, and there's a guy out here, number 2 in Jacoy Lyde, that says, I am not going to allow you guys to steal this momentum. You're in my gym, in my home. 2 guys defending him, and that's just unconscious.
Certainly is. He's now got 26 points on the night for the 12th leading scorer in all of high school basketball in the nation. He has the 8th most field goals in the country.
Unbelievable.
And you talk about being top 10 in the country in field goals, top 15 in scoring. In highlight reels, he has a lot to choose from. He has 8 times this season he scored over 40 points in a game. So he's got a lot of bulk to choose for that
he does.
lengthy huddle reel he'll probably post.
Yeah, you see him upset with himself right there. Great camera angle, because what Lyde is trying to do, he's trying to steal the ball to get back down on the other side.
Has it now. Pulls from the elbow, and it falls.
Come on now. Come on now.
Microwave indeed. He is heating up. Jacoy Lyde and company trying to put this game away on the backs of his offense after Desert Oasis made it an 8-point game with an 11-0 run in the third. Devin Coyodenis having a big night.
But they are not going away. Not going away. Knocking down open shots. If he had, might have taken my headset off if he knocked that one down.
But that's knocked down. Jeffrey Moreno's first 3 of the night.
Jeffrey Moreno's he's probably saying, look, I'm getting lonely out here. Another steal. And Moreno knocking down a shot.
And here is Karoma coming in hot, and he will go to the foul line.
I said Karoma had a tight end body style. I might be moving him a little bit further out to wide receiver, man. This guy is flying.
I thought you didn't like cross-sport references.
I didn't, but, come on now. You got to do something.
The 6'4", big-bodied senior, 8 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, blocking a half a night, strong from the foul line.
He hadn't been able to buy a shot from the foul line tonight.
Jabari Badger checking back in. Devin Coyodenis, a lot to say about number 3 in black tonight. 18 points, and he's done it without either of the leading scorer in the ballgame for him. Foul trouble and injury, knocking out the top 2 scorers for the Diamondbacks for most of this one. You do see Mekhi Smith, number 4, the second leading scorer at 11 a game, back into the ballgame.
And he has to be careful.
With 4 fouls, as Devin Coyodenis goes back to the line, so a chance to make it a 20-point night for the junior.
Yeah, keep plugging away. I mean, look, it's not a lot. They've just got to figure out a way. 5 minutes left here. If they can knock down a few threes, they can make this interesting.
Odenis, couple coming up at the line for him. Leaves the first one short. Diamondbacks coming off a game where they scored a season-high 73 in a conference win on Monday. That snapped a 6-game road drought for them dating back to last season. They finished 7-3 in 4A late conference last year behind the Rams, who won the league and again lost 5 of 6 midway through the year. They've now won 6 in a row, leading 53-38, looking for their 7th straight win tonight.
Yeah, this is a solid team. It really has, and they show that defensively, their ability to get takeaways and rebound really is their staple as a team.
Absolutely is. Here's a look at Devin Coyodenis for the Diamondbacks, just stepping up in a big way tonight. His team down top 2 guys, and he has said, I'll do some things with the ball, and he's made some nice plays.
This was the clutch shot, though. I said it was the longest 2-pointer in high school basketball. But, man, he has been coming up big for a squad that has lost their number 1 and number 2 scorer has been in foul trouble. That's a way to respond from a guy that probably didn't anticipate tonight being his night as a scorer.
certainly has shown his offensive capabilities. And with Makai Smith, 4 fouls, number 4 in black, you see on the screen right there. You can understand why you have so many fouls when your assignment is Jacoy Lyde, who gets to the line very often. 156 foul shot attempts.
He had a foul at lunch today. He had already had 1 foul. If that was going to be his matchup, man, that's a lot of pressure on that young man.
Lyde, baseline, too long. Smith gets the rebound. So they force Lyde to miss.
Back to the double team. Lyde right there.
And Devin Coyodenis picks up the ball, and a foul is called on Ahmad Karoma.
Yeah, Karoma. Just probably like, come on, man. He really has been hustling this entire game. It's number 3.
So sideline to enter it. Here in the 4th quarter, Diamondbacks looking to get back into the ball game. They turned it over there.
Bad turnover by Ashton Kidd.
And Willisey attacking. That's Jabari Badger there for 2. He's got 6 points. 2, Zaire Joseph from outside. And it's 3 points for number 2.
How badly did they need that shot to go in from Joseph?
Childress taking a page from the Jacoy Lyde book and going from way downtown. And a good answer, Makai Smith for 2.
Got 2 made buckets right now for the Diamondbacks. Absolutely needed that. I said it before. This game's not out of reach. They just got to knock down open shots. Some threes would be nice. But slow down this guy. Oh, man. That was heart-stopping right now if you were a Diamondback fan, knowing that Makai Smith has 4 fouls and he has the quick hands there on Jacoy Lyde.
Yeah, it's a smart play if you're any
Is it?
Rams. Well, no, if you're any Ram to attack a guy with 4 fouls, he's not playing like he has 4.
No, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I was like,
is it?
Yeah, is it? I mean, because Makai Smith is trying to play defense, doing everything that he possibly can, and as you were talking about, he has the matchup versus Lyde, and Lyde has put so much pressure on him that he is playing with 4 fouls, but I thought that they were going to call that a foul. Unfortunately, obviously the referees has eyes on the ball.
And here's Smith with the ball in his hands. Pulls up. 2 guys on him. Doesn't matter.
Say, anything you do, I can do better. Number 4. Probably chomping at the bit sitting over there on the bench. And wait a minute.
Karoma stretching the floor.
Wait a minute. Who said Karoma was just a 5 and a guy that can only hit shots from inside?
Good pump fake and a hard foul. Devin Coyodenis doing a good job of getting the defender to leave his feet on the pump fake.
Well, I mean, Badger pretty much fouled him with his foot. So, the pump fake was that good, huh? Jeez. Oh, wow.
Make the defender leave his feet.
That's payback. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, Will. It's a little different.
And Odenis sinks the first, 1 point away from a 20-point night. The second leading scorer tonight, just behind Jacoy Lyde of the Rams, who has approaching 30 once again. And it is a 20-point evening for Devin Coyodenis.
And look, if I'm Jeff Haddock, any matchup that I'm in right now, what's going to happen is guys are not going to know who to guard for the Diamondbacks with Odenis scoring 20 tonight.
Lyde coughs it up, going for the offensive putback. And now Smith on his dribble across the timeline draws the contact and falls down.
Yeah. Boy, Jeffrey Marino would not let it go. He was all over Mekhi Smith. Mekhi Smith now with an opportunity to get to the line. Like I said, 3-pointers really can make the difference right now for the Diamondbacks. If they can be fortunate enough just to knock down a couple of more, again, it's going to make things very interesting.
Smith sinks the first with the foul shot afforded. He's got 11 points. 28 points tonight for Jacoy Lyde. 650 on the season. Just about 100 shy of what Desert Oasis has scored this year, their entire team. As a foul is called.
Unfortunately, that's number 4's 5th foul after the miss.
Mekhi Smith knows he has to come off. He has fouled out, so the top 2 scorers not in the ball game. As Jerome White left in the 3rd and Mekhi Smith fouls out here in the 4th.
Yeah, he is. And that's a young man over there on the bench. You see him dejected. He's just trying to chase down the loose ball and picks up his 5th.
Lyde working on Devin Coyodenis. Puts the handles on, spins, and turns it over.
Great
Taken
defense.
away by Jabari Badger. Badger into the paint. Down the lane is Karoma, and he attacks inside.
They're staying aggressive now, back up by 12 after all of that good work from the Diamondbacks.
Gian Haddock kicks out, and Devin Coyodenis with 23.
That was a beautiful feed by Gian Haddock. Recognizing he has a defender in the area, he dribbles inside, creates the space needed for Odenis and gets the ball out to him for the wide open 3. Tell you, coaches' kids are the best, man.
Emilio Leal pulls down the rebound. A couple of coaches' kids with Jalen Childress as well for Rancho. On the hardwood right now. And a timeout called. Single digits separating the 2 teams now, with Devin Coyodenis taking matters into his own hands. Heated up in the 3rd, still making big buckets here in the 4th, helping Jeff Haddock's squad just trail now by 9.
And I think when you look on the other side for the Rams, Will, what's getting them in trouble right now is, especially at the beginning part of that 4th quarter, they started to play hero ball once Jerome White went out of the game. Jacoy Lyde just kind of trying to be a one-man wrecking crew all by himself, not even looking around for any of the other players. Jalen Childress taking those long 3-pointers that didn't that didn't, fall. That's that's no way to win a game.
Well, Jacoy Lyde's made plays all night. Here's some of them.
That's the one right there, though.
What about that?
That's
the one.
That's the one, too.
That was at the end of the 3rd.
This kid is amazing.
And he has coughed it up a little bit tonight, but 28 points is pretty impressive at this juncture for his team, leading by 9.
Oh, he is outstanding.
Can certainly fill it up and heat it up pretty quick, like you mentioned, a microwave.
Yeah, it's not a slow boil.
And a foul called as Devin Coyodenis will go back to the line. And really that shot that he hit at the end of the 3rd was so big because it was cut to 8, an 11-0 run. Rams really needed an answer, and that gave them some momentum coming back into the 4th. Credit to the Diamondbacks, though, for cutting this to just a 9-point game now and getting chance at the line to cut even further into it back to 8 with the connection by Devin Coyodenis from the stripe.
I mean, this is cliche, but basketball is a game of runs, and the Diamondbacks have been doing a really good job of just digging in and just not allowing the Rams to blow them out on their home court.
So 25 points for Devin Coyodenis. He has stepped up in a big way with the two leading scorers out for the Diamondbacks. Jacoy Lyde off to Karoma, who attacks inside, rolls off the rim. Jabari Badger had it, but does he walk? No, timeout called by Kai Childress.
That's the only thing that could stop Lyde is a timeout. He hit that one right before the timeout was called, but they waved it off.
And up by 7 with 1:23 to go, calling a timeout, wanting his team to be smart, control the basketball, and try to get out of here with their 7th straight victory, looking to move to 5-0 in league play. I mean, this Rancho team considered to be another top contender here in 4A.
No, they are. And I think what you see more than anything, the offense is there. Without knowing anything about the way that they play defense, really is refreshing to see a team play defense the way that they do.
And to play against Desert Oasis, just to know for the Rancho Rams this season, they've blown out teams left and right. In games decided by 6 or fewer points, they're 2-5. All 5 of their losses by 6 or fewer points. So they haven't really won many close games, but tonight being pushed a little bit, it's going to help this team, a Desert Oasis team who's considered to be one of the best teams in the conference as well.
No, I absolutely agree with you on that. And I think on the other side for Jeff Haddock, you come away from this is some tape that you can use. You lost your second best scorer with fouls, and you lose Jerome White with an injury. You see what you have on that bench.
It's 30 for Jacoy Lyde. He pulls up from mid-range, just 5 points shy of his average.
Unbelievable.
That's an interesting thing. Like, 30-point game, your average goes down.
He is must see. You get an opportunity to go in the gym where the number 2 is playing, man. He is going to put on a show.
Approaching 2,000 points in his career. Karoma from distance, it rolls off. Jabari Badger can't put it right back in. And the Diamondbacks get it. Haddock steps in the lane. Open 3, fired, in and out. And the rebound picked up by Lyde. And he gets fouled, it looks like, with 18 seconds to go in a 9-point ball game.
Against that catch, Emilio Leal on the baseline. It's been a good game. It's really been one of those games that you wish that you saw Desert Oasis with their full arsenal. Unfortunately, you get some injuries and guys getting in foul trouble. You don't see that, but I'm going to come away from this so over the top impressed with number 3.
9.3 seconds left and another foul, so it's Jacoy Lyde getting fouled and Desert Oasis sending the senior guard, 9th-ranked player in the state, and one of the top scorers in the country, back to the foul line with 9 seconds left.
Talk about his average going down. You think he's thinking about that? I had to get some more points before we get out of here so my average don't go down.
He has 32 points on the night.
He's not.
It's really on pace. He scored over 50% of his team's points this season, right at half of the team's points tonight. Devin Coyodenis, a career night with 27 for the Diamondbacks as he scores 2 as time expires. But the Rams win it behind 32 from that guy, Jacoy Lyde. And Rancho wins their 7th in a row. They're 5-0 in conference play. We'll wrap it all up next as Rancho wins it, their 7th in a row.
This is the Rugby Odds, where an unlikely pundit panel of a wordsmith, a WWE legend, a rugby star, and a supermodel scour the globe, seeking best bets and bad behavior. Are you not entertained?
Dear Harlem Globetrotters, we love you.
I love your dunks.
Adios.
The long shot.
4-point shot!
I love your history.
A trailblazer.
All the cool tricks.
You make me laugh.
Come back soon.
We're coming to Thomas and Mack Center on February 18th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs.
It's here, the all-new 777 Nissan, home of the low upfront price. Lease a new 2025 Nissan Sentra for only $298 a month. There's a huge selection online at 777nissan.com. 777 Nissan on the 215 between Buffalo and Durango.
The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour is here. We're coming to Thomas and Mack Center on February 18th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs.
The Rams win this one, 64-55, the final score, as Rancho picks up their 7th straight victory. Jacoy Lyde, just another game for him, 32 points. Let's see some of the highlights from this one, Heckma.
Yeah, hopefully they start with the Lyde package, but they didn't. Obviously, it's going to go. Other guys got in on the act, but how about that from the corner? Just a lot of back and forth, and I kept saying that the Rams looked like they were in command with the lead. They never really, look, closest it got at any point was 7, but man, they just kept going and kept scoring and holding the Diamondbacks at bay. But man, what a game. Finally, Karoma knocking down the 3, I think surprised both of us.
It did. He showed his ability tonight with 9. But it was all Jacoy Lyde who had 32. Devin Coyodenis had a good game as well with 27. A big night for him as the Diamondbacks were without their top 2 scorers for most of the night. But the junior stepped up in a big way despite the loss for Desert Oasis. So the Rams win this one. It's 64-55 final score. Jacoy Lyde with big plays all night long. As we say so long, Game Time on Your View presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way. Thanks for tuning in tonight. As we say so long from Las Vegas for Heckma Harrison and our entire crew, I'm Will Counterly saying good night.
From New York City comes America's longest running and most popular rugby show. The biggest names in Major League Rugby, MLR highlights, and big match previews. Rugby Wrap-Up presents MLR Weekly, made in New York City.
Whether you moved here or you're born and raised, we've all got one thing in common. We're locals. At Channel 13, our mission is to protect our local way of life. We fight for you.
The work that you did played a big role in saving my siblings' lives.
Listen to your concerns.
Is she going to be safe at school?
And stand up for what's right in this place we call home. Watch Channel 13 live at 6.
Or catch the replays weekday mornings and evenings on Your View, Channel 51.
The school rivalries. The roar of the crowd. The passion and drive. The team chemistry. One shot can win it all. It's more than a game. It's Las Vegas Game Time on Your View. Tune in for Desert Oasis versus Rancho boys basketball on Cox Channel 51. Streaming at watch.yourview.com and the Your View app. Great thing.
Get ready to travel across America meeting the sports stars of tomorrow. You'll meet 2 of the nation's top quarterback recruits, one in Georgia and another in Maryland. We'll take you to the Chicago area with an elite prospect in volleyball. Then make our way to Oregon for one of the rising names in softball. Those stories and a lot more are coming up next on Sports Stars of Tomorrow.
Welcome to Sports Stars of Tomorrow. I'm Charles Davis. The popularity of women's sports continues to grow, and that includes volleyball. We're starting today's show with a young lady in Illinois who could be a big part of the sport's future.
Let's head to the Chicago area for this week's 5-star feature. There's nothing more important to Abby Vanderwall than family. It's why she has such a special connection to Timothy Christian. It's the only school she's ever known.
Yeah, I've gone here my whole life, from preschool to high school, so it's the only school I've been to, and I just love it. My uncle's the athletic director, my aunt's a preschool teacher here.
I attended with all my siblings attended here, my wife and her siblings attended, and now sort of our next generation is going through.
This has been a joy for us, having the dual role of Uncle Jack, but also just being the athletic director, watching how Abby has developed.
Included on the long list of family members who attended Timothy Christian is Abby's brother Ben, who was a basketball star here and now plays for Furman University. Seeing Ben's passion for sports inspired Abby to start her own athletic journey.
He was always into sports, and I'd go to all his games.
Since he was little, we were always playing in the yard, doing whatever. Abby comes along, and she just sort of fell in line. She tried some soccer, she tried a little baseball, she did some basketball, but quickly figured out that volleyball was her niche, just fit her personality.
I just loved how competitive I can be, and I loved being able to hit. I love hitting, and I liked that it wasn't physical as basketball. I think that was the biggest thing. Yeah.
By the time Abby was a teenager and grew to be 6 feet 3 inches tall, it was becoming clear that she was more than just a good high school athlete. She was one of the best players in the country for her age.
In terms of her skill and knowing that she was really top tier, that probably started like 6th, 7th grade, where you could tell she was high above the rest. You know, I joked with Jack, I was like, what are the rules for middle schoolers playing high school volleyball? Because she probably could have started on a varsity as a 7th grader.
One moment I won't forget is the day that they handed out the uniforms for the national team. And she just put a couple on her bed and took a picture and sent it to us, saying, like, that type of moment, that's when it really sort of like, okay, we're not regional, we're not national, now this is an international stage.
Abby has won 3 gold medals with USA Volleyball, twice with the U19 team in 2023, and then she won another gold with the U21 squad this past summer. PrepDig.com ranks her as the #2 overall prospect in the 2025 class.
Her skill set is beyond her years. That's very apparent. But I think what makes her most special is that when she's with us, you don't see her acting like she's